Okay, howdy, Anson Garcia with Tier 2 UC Engineering. I'm going to take you through the Verizon Wireless Mobile UC configuration tool. This is the tool that you would use to configure the files that eventually need to make it onto your Android device. At this time it's only Android. I think later on there'll be an iPhone version of the Verizon Wireless Mobile UC. But the files you create here are akin to the files that get created inside Cisco Unified Communication Manager when you do your phone configuration, and then in the background CUCM creates those files and puts them in a TFTP directory, and they get automatically downloaded to your phone via TFTP. So this is a little bit different. You're doing some manually configuring the files outside of Communication Manager, and then also getting that file onto the phone so the mobile UC client or mobile UC Android client can then use that configuration file to know how to contact a call manager, register, get to the enterprise directory service, LDAP, and things like that. So hopefully this helps you out a little bit if you do have a Verizon Wireless Mobile UC client, or if you just want to review the configuration steps so you can talk more intelligently with your customers. So I've already installed the application. It's a regular Windows application. This comes from the Verizon Wireless folks, and I've already installed the Mobile UC or Verizon Wireless Mobile UC client on my Android. So the first thing you do in here is you create a Pbx system. So you see I've created the Pbx system here, and you would just add. Okay, so I'm just going to click on this one. We're going to review the one that I already created here. And you give some general information: Pbx name, location. This is some general information as far as email address. This comes up on the phone application. There's several places in the phone application that if you do something, it'll say, contact your administrator or whatever, and it gives them this particular information. Network configuration. This is regular stuff that your network administrator would know of, right? DHCP server, the domain name where this particular phone is going to register, default router, the DNS names, or DNS IP addresses, TFTP server, things like that. Not all these things, depending on the configuration, not all these things need to be entered. Alright, here is a speaker enabled, headset enabled. So you see kind of a blend of, you see, if you're familiar with Communication Manager, you see some of that stuff in there, and then there's some new things in there too. Alright, so we go from network configuration to Pbx configuration. Here's the number for this particular enterprise access number. So this is the EFA number. You can watch my video on MVA and EFA if you don't know what that is. Here's the voicemail pilot number, extension dialing that I have in my system. The PSTN access code, this would usually be 9. I use 8 on my demo system. The Pbx itself, the SIP ports, the SIP transport, what kind of Pbx it is. Remember, this particular application supports Avaya and BroadSoft also. And then the EFA access number. So this is automatically done for you. These are in Communication Manager, and all these are actually, no, I take that back. I had to put these in there. I think there was one version that they were already populated, but I had to put these in there. So these are the DTMF tones, basically, that when you're in a call with this particular mobile UC client, it does a DTMF tone, a pound or a *81 to put the call on hold, because you're invoking Pbx features. You're you're using the PBX to make an out. If you use the business persona to make an outbound call, it's dual stage dialing. Again, you can look at my MBA EFA Mobile UC video to kind of get a clue into what I'm talking about here. And then we have some proxy stuff going on here, and then device settings. So not much of this stuff needs to be all configured, but they do have pretty good documentation on the Pbx configuration. So when you get this application, you do get, or the customer will get documentation with this. So I'm just breezing through here, so you guys, if you're configuring this in the lab or something like that, you get a little clue on what I have in here. All this is working, by the way, so you get to see what a working system looks like. Okay, now I've created my Pbx. There it is. I called it CUCM80. Now I need to create my file for my user or users, so I can deliver that file, or that configuration file needs to get built so I can put it on the mobile phone. So I would create configuration files. Right now I'm just going to do the view edit configuration files because I already have created one. And the process is the same, except I open one instead of. Also, this particular .properties extension is important. So I had some trouble when I emailed my file over to my phone, and what I had to do is make sure that that .properties was the extension, because that's what the mobile UC client on the phone looks for. It looks for this .properties in the root of the USB directory to pick up this file and then configure itself. Okay, so let's open that. Just double click. Here's my subscriber information. So this is normal stuff, almost like a BAT file for you guys that are familiar with CUCM and BAT files. This is kind of similar. So, you know, you create files, and then instead of these files getting, pushed to call manager, they actually get pushed to the mobile phone. Alright, so some general information there. The documentation does take you through this. This is my number that's going to be on the mobile phone, my enterprise number, my Pbx number, my access pin. You don't need any of this stuff. It's going to do DHCP. Line 1 is enabled. I have one line on this particular phone. That's my display name, my user ID, my password. This is all call manager stuff, so I need to add that in here. If I'm going to do authentication, there's my authentication ID. This for some reason was missing in the documentation. It had nothing here in the documentation. I did let Verizon Wireless Mobile UC people know that. Hopefully they've corrected that in the documentation. But if you don't have that asterisk there, your phone won't work. So just a word of caution, make sure you're looking at this configuration throughout this video and copying what I have here. Alright, I won't go through everything here. I'm just going to scroll down so you can see what I have configured. Alright, I'm going to go into the General Information tab. Here's the stuff that was picked up from the Pbx, because this particular file was created with that Pbx profile. So there's some things that come from the Pbx profile and get into the configuration file. You didn't see that because I'm opening up a file that was already created, but you'll kind of put that together when you create a file. It'll ask you what Pbx profile do you want to use. So you can see this information came over from the Pbx profile. Alright, same information we were looking at just a second ago. I won't go through all of it. There's EFA access numbers. That stuff we already looked at. And then here's a new tab here. Default undocked or outgoing call mode is prompt, or you have the ability to prompt or choose business or mobile. Again, if you don't understand this, look at my other demo where I'm talking about MBA, EFA, and the Mobile UC application itself, and I give a demo of the application, and you'll kind of put that together. Okay, that's really it. Now you either can grab this file from the local directory, or you can email it. If you email it, what needs to happen is you have to set up whatever. So this is kind of made for an administrator or a customer administrator, and you have to set up the options. You have to have a mail server ready to receive mail that comes from this application. So you'd have to have Exchange or something, an SMTP port opening Exchange, or you have to have some SMTP mail relay agent somewhere. I set one up on Django SMTP. That's a good one and free one. Anyway, for you guys that are testing this stuff or something like that, you probably won't do that. You'll just, you know, view the file, get the file somehow to your phone, and you can email the file and things like that. So if I look here and let me view edit again, okay, and then we're going to look at this directory. So this is where that file is kept. All right, documents. So this is the file right here that I want to get to my phone. So you can bring up Gmail and send it to your phone. Somehow you need to get this file right here and copy it to the flash or SD card on your phone. This is the magic that happens. So when the Mobile UC client loads, when you boot up your phone, it looks for this particular file. It looks for a .properties file, and that's how it configures itself. So hopefully this helps you. That's how things get configured, or these property files get configured. Any questions? Just email me at anson.garcia@verizonbusiness.com, or you can also post a question on our chatter group, on our UCAS chatter group. Thank you.